So we are in Glenn's turbocharged VE SSV manual wagon.
How you going?
Very, very cool, mate.
Thank you.
Super nice build. I've got a soft spot for wagons. I've owned a few of them, and they're a bit of a dying breed.
They are. I've always said to anybody that wagons are the epitome. They are the best of any.
I don't like spoilers, and wagons don't have wings on them, and they're way more practical. I don't know why more people don't buy them over sedans.
They are, and to me, they look so much better. They look way better, especially when you slam them on the ground like I have. So.
Manual V8 wagons are actually pretty rare, aren't they, in terms of Commodores in most models, aren't they, Glenn?
Yeah, fairly rare. There wasn't many in the Stingray, I
Yep.
believe, what I've been told. The SSVs in the Stingray, there was one in Series 1s and 2 in the Series 2.
Yeah.
So I was pretty lucky to come across this and pick it up.
Yeah,
Good
I
price.
always found it an odd combination to be ordering from the factory, but hey, I love manuals a bit like yourself, so
Who doesn't like a fast manual wagon?
I know.
So-
Hard to find a station wagon now. Everything's an SUV. But
Yeah, that's it.
one thing I really love about this is that nothing against HSVs, but you've got a HDT look to it, whereas most Commodores sort of go with a more of a HSV look. They're a bit less common, but you know.
Yeah, I've always dreamed of doing something like this since I was a young kid. My stepdad, when I was growing up, had a VK vacation and he turned into the Group 3 look.
Oh yeah.
And it had the 5-litre iron line in it with a turbo hanging off the side. So that was a lot of my inspiration on the build.
So you bought it stock?
Yeah, bought it stock in 2017.
Tell us about the paint, because it's clearly not factory Stingray.
So the paint itself is a Stingray base, and then it's got a 2-layer candy
Yeah, you
from
can see
like
that.
the RAV4s, and then it's got a gold pearl over the top of that. Yeah, it comes up well in the sun,
Yep,
so it's
yep.
really good.
These side skirts, are they custom or is that?
So they're actually the same as what you see in your HSV Maloos.
Oh yeah, okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah, so I just wanted something that complemented the body lines pretty well, especially with the HDT rear spats on the rear.
Yeah.
I just wanted to follow along, otherwise the standard side skirts just looked a little funny.
And these wheels, what size are they?
So the fronts are a 20B 9.5 with a plus 25 offset, 255/30, 35 on the front, and the rears are a 10.5 by plus 35
Yeah.
with a 275 on the rear.
That's a custom offset?
Yeah, custom offset by Koyo, so ordered it through
Okay.
with the Super Root Beer colour, so complements the car pretty well, I think.
Yeah, they do, don't they? It goes well with the pearl and the paint, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, so it actually has its own sort of gold pearl through it as well.
Yeah. A lot of cars we, show off in full boost, a lot of them either look good and they still go well, or they go, really well, but they're not doing interior. You've actually done this whole car front to back, haven't you?
Yeah, so I sort of wanted the show car look, but I still wanted to go fast, and I wanted to do it on bags, so I wanted to prove that, you can have everything pretty
Everything
much.
you want, yeah.
There's a lot of stigma against bags that they don't handle and they don't ride right, but I can plant this thing in second gear and it grips and takes off and no trouble at all.
Have you ever run like a more of a drag style tyre?
No, not yet. I
Yeah.
do want to go back to the Koyo 18-inch and run a semi-slick and see how I go.
Why don't you pop the bonnet and show us what you've got under here, because I heard you come in and it's definitely not stock. It's got a nice chop to it, the cam.
Yeah, so it's actually a custom cam by Warspeed. Can't remember the exact specs off the top of my head. Short block was built by Warspeed, 403 stroker, Kelly's rods, CP pistons, K1 crank.
Is it based off an LS3 or?
So it's actually a cast iron LY6 block,
Oh,
so
right,
one of
right.
those cast blocks from the States.
Now I know you were telling me off camera earlier, you had a bit of a mishap with your
Yes.
anodizing
So,
there.
so I
cleaning
learnt
it.
a very valuable lesson about degreaser and anodizer. Don't use it when the engine is warm. So I've got a bit of path ahead of me trying to fix that, but
I mean, I see what you mean though. Now I'm looking at it everywhere, but yeah, that's not the end of the world. But apart from that, yeah, your bay's very clean for a late model car.
yeah, so as I said, I wanted to sort of give it that show car look, but still go like the clappers. I plan to sort of gut everything again soon and put a Haltech in it, so
So still factory ECU.
still factory
So
ECU.
what, you sort of boost limited by that, or?
No. I've got the eBoost 2 in it, which is pretty good, so that controls a lot of it.
What turbo you got over there?
So that is a Garrett Gen 2, GDX 5533R.
Oh, geez.
91mm. So she's a big girl. It sounds cool, I can tell you that.
Yeah. You've got all braided line everywhere.
Yeah, yep. So it's all Zoo Performance sort of gear. We all did that in house, me and Matt.
So you work at
Gricey's workshop. Yeah.
Yep.
So me and Matt take a lot of pride in what we do.
You got a bit of heat under the engine bay. You don't want to be.
Yeah. So that's why we
You see so many Alice's, burning up hoses and weeds and everything.
Yeah.
Did you sort of play with a naturally aspirated setup?
Yeah. So originally it started off as a L98. Just had a Crocam 227 over 244. It was alright, 322 kilowatt. It's plenty of fun to get used to, but like anything,
Yeah,
you start craving more.
and then you just get greedy.
Yeah.
Now you went for a pretty banger turbo first off. Was that the first turbo? Or have you replaced that?
No, so that's the first turbo. I have no one but Luke from LS Tuning to blame for that. I was just going to go an 88, and he's like,
88's not big enough, is it?
well, apparently with 403 stroker and Higgins heads and LS3 Higgins heads and everything, he's like, nah, we'll up the ante and you can sell your Patrol and buy a turbo. So yeah, ended up with a Garrett GDX 55 and pretty happy with it. It's pretty rowdy when you want it to be. There's still a genuine head, they're LS3 heads, just being ported.
A ported OE style.
Yeah, and it's got titanium valves and titanium valve springs and stainless steel valves.
Yeah, Warspeed pieced together some pretty nice engines, don't they?
Yeah, they are amazing what they do. Troy was a magnitude of wealth for both me and Matt, just trying to piece together. The original goal was 1,000 horsepower, and we did that easy. And this motor hasn't missed a beat.
That's awesome, isn't it? It's amazing. You think now it's like everyone's 1,000 horsepower, but 1,000 horsepower in a road car, in any road car, is.
Yeah, and you can always, like an LS, you can get 1,000 horsepower out of them pretty easily. It's reliability as well.
Well, yeah, that's with a lot of engines, isn't it?
So. And even with the 91mm turbo, it's still pretty responsive 99% of the time. Turbo. It's the worst part, having the screamer on it when it opens up.
So you said it makes about 1,000 horsepower? Or?
Yeah, so 1129 on 16 PSI.
Jeez, okay.
So pretty easy. Fuel pump sort of getting close to being maxed out. It's about a 1,200 horsepower pump off 4 Innovations with the twin 525s. Nice little drop-in system. Really easy to work with, just replaces the factory stuff. I can have the option to put another pump in there. It is a triple hanger. So I'll probably look at doing that soon and turn up the boost just a little bit and, see what it can make. It should comfortably make 1,400 if I want. So
I don't know. That's enough horsepower, I reckon, and then you're just, it's a street car, and then what are you doing? You're just stressing the engine.
Yeah, that's it. Like, this is the plan. I eventually do want to race it. I want to do some times as a manual.
Oh, you were saying you'd like to do some roll racing, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd like to also do some quarter times as well. I want to see how I can go with a manual, and then go back with an auto, maybe a turbo 400, and just see how much quicker I can go. A lot of guys getting into the 8s and stuff, even the 9s pretty comfortably with this setup I'm running, just with a turbo 400 behind them. So they're the air rod for the airbags.
That's for the airbags.
So that's the shot tops. So they're a coil-over design with the bag, so you can fully adjustable. When you want to go racing, you can stiffen it up or make it as soft as you want.
And you put independent control, obviously front to rear.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. A lot of people steer away from it, but I like it.
It's funny. Everyone who has airbags has always told me they love them.
I've only had one issue since this new combo, and that was putting one of the airlines too close to something that got really hot. And I learnt that at Summernats, and we just cut it and put a joiner in and moved it away.
Ride's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in that many cars with airbags, to be honest.
No, it's good.
So getting back to the driveline, you've got the factory gearbox is holding up with all this.
Yeah, so the factory T56, I haven't touched it yet. I might later on change the brass pads and stuff on it, but no, it's holding up well. It's just got a Exedi twin plate ceramic clutch.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Extreme.
Twin plate.
Twin plate. Yeah. It's really good. Holds up well. So Harrop True Track diff, 3/7 in the rear, and I've kept the CV shaft standard. So that way there's a weak point. So if I break something, I'm hoping I'm breaking the $110 CV.
Yeah, that's actually a good move. Yeah.
So
yeah, because if you ever want to race it, you'd probably.
if I break one of them, it's literally
break one of them.
15 minutes to the side of the track, slap a new one in.
So you've got a few things going on in the boot. I like your Venetians, Glenn.
Venetians, yeah. They were a bit of a last minute at the end of last year before Summer Nats, and I fell in love with them. A little bit different. I'd seen them on VEs.
Oh wow, that's different. I wasn't not expecting that.
So that's for the airbag setup. Me and Matt sort of one day were like, oh, you know, you see those brewery setups, you know, where they're making moonshine and stuff. Like, let's make something like that.
Yeah.
And this was just our crazy idea.
Oh, that's cool, lads.
Yeah, it's not a daily anymore, so.
You've still got room here though, to put a bag or something if you want.
Yeah, 100%. And I've still got access technically to the spare wheel well, even though there's no tyre in there.
Yeah.
It's literally where I keep odds and ends.
I like how you've got what are they, front rear seats in the back? Or?
Yeah, so they're just the bucket rear seats that we've grafted to the back bench seat. Hadn't really seen it on a wagon, so we're like, let's give it a crack. And there's actually a lot of room in there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought once I got it done, that you wouldn't be able to fit in there very well, but it's comfy as hell.
Looks like you sit up a bit higher.
Yeah, you do sit up a little bit higher, but
yeah, kids will love it.
Yeah, my little 5-year-old, she goes mental for this car, so she's going to be a little rev head.
I like the stitching on the doors here.
Yeah, so it's actually the same sort of style as the 2017 Bentley GT Continental.
Oh, okay.
That's where I got the idea of the stitching from. I basically went with, just like Ferrari, on like tan and red. Like
tan and red,
they've nailed it, everyone loves that, so why not?
You've smartly not done the entire dash and console. You know, some people do.
Yeah, you can go too far.
Too much, and it just all blends in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with a lighter colour. You've recently just come back from Summer Nats, yeah? That was your first time with the car? You had a ball?
Yeah, I had an absolute blast. I did pretty well there, and it's just a wild show. I was blown away, to be honest, about it.
And you were able to do, I saw a photo you sent me, nice little skid you did.
Yeah, Skid Row. I made sure I did it on the Sunday just in case anything happened. But no, I had a blast. Did it pretty easily.
So you head back?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be back there next year. Yeah, so we actually did really well. We placed in the top 40 and the top 10 for interiors, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. Well, thanks for showing us the VE, mate. It's been a cracker. It's a bit of a hot day here in Melbourne, but it's to be expected.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Good meeting you guys, and yeah, it's been good chatting about the car.
I don't know how you drive in thongs, dude. I can't do it.
And this is so used to it.
Feet, aren't I?
Yeah.